Let's get some analysis now from Maya MacGuiness, president of the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you heard the bullet points there. It's ambitious. We don't have all the details, but they're starting to put some things on paper. The big concern, I guess, is this revenue neutral part of it.
Well, that is the big concern. So I think if you think about tax reform that would simplify the tax code, enhance our competitiveness, grow the economy, that's a great idea, long overdue, and something we really need to do. But if you're going to come up with a plan that ultimately adds trillions of dollars to our already near record levels of debt, that's going to turn out to be a really bad idea that is going to leave our fiscal situation worse than it already is and undercut all the benefits of growth that you can potentially get from tax reform. So the big question here is, how are we going to offset the cost of this plan, which is likely to be trillions of dollars?
So the Treasury Secretary was peppered with questions about that today. Here's one of his answers.
This will pay for itself with growth and with reduction of different deductions and closing loopholes. This plan is going to lower the debt to GDP. The economic plan under Trump will grow the economy and will create massive amounts of revenues, trillions of dollars in additional revenues.
So we've heard, Maya, before that growth is going to take care of it, and it just comes down to the numbers. Does it add up at the end?
Yeah, and so let's start with the end. Let's set a fiscal goal where this administration wants to be 10 years from now, whether it's balancing the budget or getting the debt lower as a share of GDP, which I think would be a great start, put it on a downward path so at least the economy would be growing faster than the debt. Let's pick that goal, and then let's develop a whole comprehensive plan to get us there. But right now, for many, many months, we've had the administration saying, we're going to grow the economy so much, and that's how we're going to deal with our big fiscal challenges. The president regularly said during the campaign, this $20 trillion debt in this country is a real threat. And it is. And he was going to use economic growth to deal with that. But now, if we're going to use all this economic growth to pay for tax cuts, you can't use that growth twice. And more realistically, the growth numbers they're talking about are really, really ambitious. And the reason is not because these aren't the right policies to help grow the economy. They will grow it some. But the big challenges we have are the labor market's changing, demographics, people are aging, and the labor force isn't going to grow as quickly as it used to. And we can't just put in wishful thinking of very high growth rates and say that's going to fix the problem. We have to have a real plan to get there. This will get us some growth, but it won't pay for itself.
And for a president who says, at least now, that he's not touching entitlements, you can't cut enough from that budget to make up the difference.
Honestly, that's the biggest piece of the picture here, that they've talked about finding a reasonable fiscal goal, great idea. Reforming the tax code, great idea, but it shouldn't lose revenue, it should be revenue neutral. But they've also said they're taking entitlements off of the table, and that's just not workable. The numbers won't add up, but it also means if we don't take the steps we have to take in Social Security and Medicare to strengthen those programs, it's going to leave us vulnerable to those programs. You know, they're expected to not be sustainable. We have to make changes. So that doesn't help them, that hurts them. We need to put them on the table. They're the biggest drivers of our national debt, along with interest. They have to be part of the whole equation.
Okay, Maya, thank you very much.
Thank you.